my creatives, and welcome to another video. So today I'm here to share 4 pages in my altered book. We are going to finish this one up completely. I'm super proud of myself because as of recording this voiceover, I have completed my complete altered book. That was a weird sentence. So I'm going to share with you how I'm going to use my Dephemerember ephemera that I have created in this altered book and how I'm going to finish up these pages. I'm also going to share a little bit about what I am journaling about on each page, and yeah, let's do this. So I have put in timestamps for all the 4 pages that I'm going to create today. So this is part 1. In the second part we will create another 4 pages, and then there will be a flip through video because that is the end of this book. So that's really cool. Dephemerember was a December daily project by Barbara from 49 Dragonflies and Louisa Heinzel. They are also linked down below in the description box. I have a playlist for all of the things that I have created. You can watch that if you would like. And now, without any further ado, let's go into this book. So this is the first page that I am creating. So I'm not doing this in chronological order. I'm just picking a page that I feel inspired to work on, and I have pulled some supplies from my stash. So before starting this finishing up, I went through my stash and I picked out papers that I think would fit my style. So I have them next to me on my desk, and for this one I wanted to keep it more neutral and more soft and light because of the ephemera that I already created. So these are very thin papers from Action. They have been in my stash since forever, so I don't think you can get them, but they are just very nice neutral ones. They're also very thin papers. I tried to bulk it up as less as possible, but it's still a gator mouth in the end. But I very much enjoyed it. So what I did is I ripped these 2 pieces of paper to the right size to cover up the text, and now I'm just gluing one side down of this pocket because I wanted to have this triangle being a top loading pocket and a bottom loading pocket, or tuck spot, I don't know. I'm just creating a backdrop for my ephemera pieces. So the main goal for me is to pick papers that will put more accent to the ephemera pieces. So they are, how do I say that, a base for my ephemera and not as much an eye catcher, because my ephemera needs to be an eye catcher. So I'm just ripping up my pieces of paper because I like the ripped edge, and it's also a lot easier to do with these angles to just put your ruler there instead of taking it to my trimmer. Yeah, like I said, I really love the ripped edges. I'm also inking up all of the pieces with Tea-Dyed Distress Oxide. That's also what I already used in the book on all the pages, and I'm roughing up the edges even more with my scissors. There are a few pages I forgot to do this, but mainly for all of the pages I am doing this because I love the look of them. Now I'm putting this piece of paper here. It doesn't need to be covered all the way because you're not going to see that, and I would like to keep some of this paper, so to you know, be able to use it another time, I'm going to cut down papers. Here I'm going to glue down my first pocket, so I'm making sure to put glue in the spine to hope that this book will stay together, and then I also put glue on the top and a little side piece to create my pocket. Now, because I have ripped out pages in between, it is a very good idea, if you are going to do this, to close your book while you're gluing it to make sure that the pages will line up with each other, because otherwise they will not. And I'm sticking everything very well down with my bone folder and making sure that everything is glued down properly, and I'm putting my pieces back, checking again if everything is okay and lined up, and if it is, I will put my ephemera pieces back. So here is one of the page tabs that I have created in this Dephemerember, and I'm going to stick it on top because I thought that was the best place for this page. So I'm just going to stick down the back piece with papers, and then I will flip it over to the other side, but I do want them to be out of my journal, hanging out of my journal, so I'm not gluing them down completely, just a little strip of them, so when you close the book you can see the page tabs on the outside, and I find it super fun look. Now on to the other page. I have created a belly band, and I didn't think it needed any paper underneath, So I am just gluing down the top and the bottom of this belly band onto my page, making sure that everything is stuck down very, very well. And then the only thing that I'm going to do after that is stick my other card underneath, because it covers up almost the whole page. I didn't find it necessary to put any papers there, and I also like it that you can see on some pages that this is an altered book, so I like to keep some of the text. Now, it was still a little bit plain, so I went through my stash and I found these quote stamps that I have received in Happy Mail, and they are by Dilutions. And this one says, "You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, smarter than you think," and I can't read the other side, the last one. There will be still shots in the end, so you can read everything and see it if you would like. What it says, "And love more than you know." So I'm going to cut up these strips because I would like to have some strips. I also stamped it with some gray ink to keep the lightness. And now I'm going to cut out some hearts from scrap pieces. So what I do is I fold the scrap piece in half, and then I just cut one of the heart shapes. And then if you open it up, there is a beautiful heart. I'm going to do that with 3 pieces. So I have 3 different sizes of hearts. I want to have a big one and a smaller one, and then a tiny, tiny one on the bottom. I like to have 3s of things, so of course it had to be 3 hearts. Inking them up with the tea dye, and I'm going to glue everything down so it is nicely and secured on my page. It was a very, very nice page to start with, and on this page I am going to journal about certain things. So the top card has the word friendship on it, so I'm going to journal about what friendship means to me, and that is something that I like to document. Then on the very big piece, I am going to document how this December is. So this December was a little bit different because, well, of course we are in lockdown Christmas, and we also had it last year, but also this year, and this year I am having a burnout. So I'm writing about having a burnout, and I'm writing about that I find it hard to set boundaries and keep boundaries, and that I have worked myself into this, that I have social anxiety, panic attacks and all those things. But I also found out some very good things in this period of time, because I found my path again. I found how much I love doing YouTube. I took a break from YouTube, which was very, very good for me. And also that this gives me a lot of positive things and a lot of positive lessons, life lessons. I am a firm believer about finding the silver lining, even though when things are hard. So for me, I am learning a lot of things with this burnout. Now on this card, I'm writing out my dreams, and my dream is to have my own creative business, which I have, and that I can create more videos, and that I can create more kits, and that I like to put a little bit of mental health in my videos to, hope that you feel less alone, or also feel inspired to create, and that I can keep on doing this, maybe even open a web shop later on. So those are my dreams, and I've written about them. Going on to the second page that I'm going to create today, I have been thrifting a lot. It very much helps me with my burnout. I very much enjoy it, and I love to get art books. So this is an art book about impressionists, and it had this beautiful image that I thought would work very well with the red and gold that is going on in this page. So I just ripped it out of that book, and I am going to use that as a background. So I'm going to fold it in half to make sure that I put it in the middle of my book, and also that I know where the spine is. I thought it was just a little bit too wide, so I'm taking my ruler and I'm doing this on top of my book to have a reference on where I should rip my paper. I'm going to check, and then I thought it was a little bit too high still. So I'm also going to take my book again as a reference, and I am moving it down a little bit and tearing a piece off the bottom to, make it kinda that on all the sides of the paper there is enough space. I'm going to use my tea dye to distress the edges and also the crease. I very much enjoy the look when it's also in the crease. And then I also put something of this tea dye all over my page because I love the color of it. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some glue and I'm going to glue down one side first. Because that helps a lot with lining everything up and making sure that it is nicely into the crease. But then I saw that I put it down crooked, even though I tried so hard. So I am going to take it up again. I first burnish it down and I see, no, it is crooked. So I'm going to take it up again. This book soaks in my glue a lot. So that's why I use a lot of glue, because it soaks in right through the paper. So I had to put more glue onto this page. And after I did that for one side, I'm going to glue the other side as well, making sure that I don't put glue in that half circle there of that pocket, so it doesn't stick down my pocket. And after that, I am going to burnish everything down, making sure everything is stick down properly. I'm going to repunch my circle, and this is why I have not glued down anything of my pockets yet before I worked in it, but paper clipped everything together, because that way it is a lot easier to put your papers on and to make sure that it does look neat and not much of a hassle. So now we have that big pocket, and I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to put glue into the spine of the book and also on the bottom and the side of that one page. And I'm going to put my pocket together. As you can see, I flip the pages up because I feel that way I can line them up better than when I put the book flat. Making sure I press everything good down, because like I said, this book soaks in the glue like crazy. So I have to work it a little bit. Putting in my beautiful peacock tag in that pocket, and now I'm going to finish it up. So I also have another page tab here and one of the other prompts that I have created, but I thought it was still a little bit bare. So I'm taking my Neocolor 2s and I am going to create these leaves. So these are scribbly leaves. I very much enjoy them. I'm also doing them a lot in my art journal lately. I don't know what it is. They make me happy. So I thought it would be a nice addition to this page. And I'm checking with my embellishments how it will look if I have put them, how I draw them in. After I did that with the red one, I'm checking once more how it will look with my focal piece, and I'm happy with that. I am going to take a white Neocolor 2, and then I am going to scribble over the lines I already made. I feel that it gives a finished look and it looks more mixed media, more intentional if you do the double lines. So that is what I'm doing here. After I was done scribbling, I am going to add some gold splatters to my page. I love gold splatters. I also love splattering. And once I start splattering, I don't know when to stop. So I'm going to splatter a lot of gold splatters on my page. This is a gold mica mist that has been in my stash for so long. I'm almost at the end of it, so you know how much I splatter, because I haven't really used this spray for spraying. Let's be honest. After that, I am going to attach my tuck spot with my beautiful bird. I'm going to glue down one side on the side of my page, and after that is stuck down, I'm going to add my ephemera piece in there that I have created. Then I'm going to add my focal point on the other side, and I'm going to adhere the page tab to it first because I want to have that as one cluster so they go together. That was pleasing to my eye, and I thought this one would be nice on the bottom. So I did want to put page tabs a little bit on all sides of my book. You're going to see that later on, but it does need to fit with my collage and what I am creating. So after I glued this down, I am adhering that page tab to the other page. Also just one little strip because I want to let it hang out of my altered book. And putting everything back again so I don't lose it when I'm ready to work on that page. Checking how it looks, and I'm absolutely loving it. Now I am going to journal on these pages. So, oh no! I'm not, because I thought still something was a little bit missing on top. And I am going to use one of those quotes again from Dilutions, and I'm going to stamp it with the gray ink again on some tea-dyed paper. And this one is more about the ends and beginnings, and I thought it was really, really fitting. I don't think I have mentioned this, but in this journal I am writing about things in December or January. So all things that have to do with December, Christmas or New Year's. And on this page I am actually going to write about New Year's, and that this is always a very interesting time for me because I don't like fireworks. I do love the professional shows, but I don't know if you all know about the Netherlands and their fireworks thing on the 31st of December. I don't really like it. I also had 1 year way back that there was this illegal firework going off in my street, and I got into reliving my trauma. So it wasn't really fun. I don't really like it. So I journaled about that, and I journaled about that I'm not really a person for New Year's resolutions, but I do like to reflect on the year and what all has happened. So that is something that I wrote on that big tag. Moving on to the next page, I am going to adhere everything, but I'm also going to adhere this thing already from the last page, or the next page, because I wanted to put this flap on the other side so that it would be glued down over the page. Now, if I would wait, I couldn't do that anymore because I'm going to close my pockets, of course. So that is why I decided to do that already for that other page. And now I'm ready to work on this one. So I really wanted to have some papers that would complement the colors that I'm using here. And I'm using mainly blacks, reds, neutrals and greens. So I went through my stash and I found these papers I thought would fit. And I thought that green piece would look really, really nice with that big playing card with the bird. So I'm going to rough up the edges, and I am going to ink it up with Vintage Photo. If you see me making my marks and taking it off camera, I'm just taking it to my paper trimmer to cut it to size. I didn't think that was so interesting to see, so I cut all of that out, or didn't even film it because, well, I'm just cutting my papers to size. I'm sticking this down, burnishing it down very, very well, and making sure that all is properly stuck down. Like I said, this page soaks in my glue like crazy, so I really have to make sure that I press it down very good. I am checking with my other pieces what I wanted to do, and I thought this flower pattern would look really nice with the girl on that tag that I have created, or journaling card, and I am going to put that in that side because this will be a two-way pocket, so you have a pocket on one side and a little pocket on the other side. After I checked if everything would fit, which is very important, I am going to glue that down. I'm very happy that I was able to use a lot of my stash that has just been laying around here. So these pages have been, or these papers have been in my stash for so long. So I'm very happy that I was able to make a dent in those. And now it was time to glue down that first flap. I'm just putting glue on the top and the bottom. I wanted to make this page more cohesive, so I decided to repeat that green. I also thought it would look very nice with that other piece. Now I'm putting a paper in this whole on this whole page because this is quite a big tuck spot, and if you open it up you will be able to look into it. So that is why I decided to put paper on the whole page and not only on that piece that is visible once the pocket is closed, because you will see it and I don't like it if there's a weird edge. So I'm doing the same here, just gluing my paper down, and it was really fun to find pieces that would complement my ephemera that I've created, and I had so much fun in this whole Dephemerember and finding my creativity back again and having the help of the prompts from Barbara and Louisa. It was great, and I also feel very, very accomplished because I have never completed a journal this fast with a lot of meaning in it for me personally, because of all the things that I have journaled about. I have journaled things that memories that I don't think I have journaled, so it was really, really fun. I'm putting my ephemera pieces back again, and here I am checking how I want everything in my pocket and how I want to have my page tab. So I'm making sure that the page tabs are not on the same place when I am sticking them in. So this one will look like the second tab on my book, and I'm just doing the same thing again. I now have bought some fabric glue because Marie said, well, Kyra, if you're going to use fabric a lot, maybe you should use some fabric glue. So I am looking forward to trying out that because, well, fabric is a newfound love for me. I'm checking how I wanted to add that playing card to my page. So first I thought maybe I wanted to stick it down, but I didn't like it because I really wanted to see still the backside of the playing card, that it was a playing card. And then I thought maybe this ephemera piece, but the colors didn't go. So yeah, I just flipped a little bit through my pages, finding another piece, and I thought, no, this circle will also not work. And I had a little think, checking what the ephemera that I had, and then I thought, well, I can also create a pocket out of this lace ribbon, right? So I am going to cut off a piece, and I'm also going to add that to that center because I thought it would look fun. And with this lace pocket on the side, I'm going to glue it down on 3 sides. So I'm first adding some glue to that left edge, making sure that my lace would be on the right spot and would be straight on there. And then I will add some glue on the top and on the bottom of that lace. I will cut off the excess later on, but I usually cut things too big simply because I am notorious for cutting things too small, and I really didn't want it to be too small. I'm using some glue stick in that middle piece. I saw Barbara using glue stick for her fabrics or lace, and I thought it was very good idea. So I am trying that out, and it stick down very well. I did make sure that I put on enough glue to put this fabric on, but I very much like it. And now I am going to create a journaling spot on the back of this ephemera piece. I didn't do that in the video or when I created my page because I don't know why, but I did want to have a journaling spot, of course. So I'm just taking some brown packaging paper that you get when you order something online and they fill out the box. I have a whole cube in my Calyx just with packaging paper. I tend to keep all of the brown paper. It's really fun because every company sends other papers. Usually it's brown paper, but this brown paper is different from other brown papers that I have, and I have ordered some storage boxes a week or something ago, and they also included other packaging paper, which was really cool. And I'm actually using that to create a very big journal, so it's very exciting. Isn't it cool that when the packaging of your order just makes you just as excited as your order? So I wrote down on that girl card that Christmas is not really my time of year because I don't have a good childhood. I don't have good memories of Christmas. And on this tag or card I wrote that I found a new love for fabric this December. So you can journal about really everything that you want, memories of the past, but also how is your crafting doing and what are things you found out you liked. For me, it was shocking that I actually started to craft with Christmas related stuff because I really don't like Christmas. Because of my childhood, I really don't have nice memories of that. So I think that's worth documenting. Your crafts change, even though it doesn't feel like it, it changes. And I think it's fun to document those things so you can look back on that later on in life to see how you developed. Adding a few gold stars because I was missing a little, and now I'm going to the next page. So this page has more of a nature vibe to me and more blues. So I thought this blue pattern paper would look very nice in the background. I didn't want to have anything too busy because I have ephemera pieces that are quite busy, and I have quite a few for this page. So I did want to have a nice base to work on. And now I'm taking my scissors again, roughing up the edges, and I'm also taking my vintage photo and I'm going to ink all around the page and in the spine and checking if I would like it. I would like this blue color, so I'm happy. And then I'm going to do the same as I did with the other big page, making sure that I line it up with the spine and then gluing one side down first. I feel that's just a lot easier to do. And then I will also add some glue on the other side. I think it's a lot of fun, this Dephemerember, because it was not Christmas related, so you were able to choose your own theme, and I have done a winter theme and Christmas theme for this, so really a December theme, I guess. And it was really fun because I don't think I would have liked if this was all Christmas related stuff. So now I'm putting my ephemera on places. I have a hidden paper clip for that one journaling card, and then another card will go into that seed pocket. And then I thought I missed something in the background. So I'm grabbing one of my books that I have bought while thrifting, and it has these beautiful illustrations of plants. I mean, this was such a treasure to find. I was so happy when I found this book, and I am picking out a few things. So here I'm flipping through. Look at these beautiful illustrations. They are quite big, I have to say, but yeah, I very, very much love them, and they are all isolated, so you can cut them out very, very well. I wanted to look for something more green, like pine trees or something like that. Then I found this page, and I thought it would be perfect to add a little bit more green into my background. So now I'm going to fussy cut these, and after that I am finding my collage. So like I said, I want completing the pages that they complement my ephemera pieces, and I thought it was a very fun challenge to do, and I did things that I thought I would never do or haven't done before. It was very, very exciting. So I'm fussing around a little bit because sometimes perfectionism gets you, and you are trying to find the perfect composition. Well, honestly, it doesn't really matter, because in the end, it's just a beautiful book, and not every page can be your favorite, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just your beautiful created journal. Now, do I have to say that I love all the pages that I have created? So it is a perfect journal for me, and I very much love it. But I'm just sharing with you here that I also don't always know exactly what I want. I kind of know what I want. I kind of know what I want to use, but I'm not sure all the time immediately how I want to do it. I usually give myself some time to work around this and change things, but at a certain point I say, okay, now it's enough, and I'm going to stick things down, because I can move things like for hours, and I also want to finish up my page, and still needs to be pleasurable to do. So I started to stick things down, and I'm very, very happy with how this page turned out. These were a little bit tricky to stick down because they were so flimsy and thin, but in the end I managed. I want them to overlap the spine and the middle. Now, if you do that, be sure to know that it will bulk up your spine a little bit, and that it may crease your image. I don't mind that, but these book pages aren't as thick, so if you have very, very thick pieces, I don't know if it's very smart to put it over the spine, but this is just a book page. So I'm going to cut off the excess, and while cutting that off I was thinking, am I going to reuse that again? Because usually I like to reuse things like these cutoffs, but I couldn't find a place for it. So I decided to not reuse them and just let that go. And I'm going to use my tea dye to ink up the edges a little bit more, especially of these cutouts, and I think it makes all the difference for this page. Now I'm putting my pieces back, and I'm checking how I want them to be, and I'm actually very, very happy with how this looks. So I've created this button card in the Dephemerember, and it is super bulky, so I was in doubt if I wanted to add it, but I really wanted to add something of all the prompts in this book, so I decided to add it, but it did create a lot of bulk. So on this journaling card, I am writing about that nature is one of my favorite themes to work with at the moment, and that nature gives me a very calm feeling, that I especially love going to the water, and that we have a lot of it where I live. And on this page, or this ephemera piece didn't have backing yet. I left it white because I didn't know what I wanted to do with it, but then I decided to add more of that brown packaging paper. And as you can see, this is a different kind of brown, and it also doesn't have that striped texture in it, so it's really fun to see those brown papers. Just burnishing it down, and I'm going to cut off the excess so my journaling spot is ready for some journaling. And on this page, I am going to write about that when the end of summer is here, I always get sad because the days become shorter and I have this seasonal depression thing. So I write about that, and that I also have my challenges with December itself. So this is usually not a time of year that I very much enjoy. I think it's very fun to document those things in your journal. So here are the 4 pages that I have created with you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to post part 2 very soon. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and if you like this video, leave me a thumbs up. If I comment a little bit late, I'm still recovering from my burnout, but I will reply to all of my comments as I always do, but it just takes me a little bit more time. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye!